Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Our passage today is a very, very familiar passage. It's the parable of the sower and the seeds. I want to talk to you about spiritual midlife crisis. Now, we know that when we're born again, as Peter says, by the planting of the incorruptible seed of God's Word within our heart. In John 8, Jesus said we become His disciples because we choose to hold that Word in our heart, and immediately we begin to see change. The Word transforms us, and we begin to see the fruit of a life following God. But when Jesus teaches this parable of the sower, He teaches us about another very important time. This is after we've chosen to hold and we've been through the season of persecution after our initial salvation, and we've pressed through that. But then there's something that arrests our spiritual development, that, forgive me, condemns us to a life of spiritual immaturity rather than consistent spiritual growth. And He says it this way: the seed that fell among the thorns stands for those who hear, but as they go on their way, they are choked by life's worries, riches, and pleasures, and they do not mature. Notice, it's not that they backslide, it's not that they spiritually die, they just never mature. When you put a little plant in the middle and all kinds of weeds grow up around it, it takes all the nourishment that plant needs, and that plant will always stay small and stunted and never mature. That, unfortunately, is happening to Christians all across the world today. The pleasures of life enter in, the riches of life enter in, the worries of this life enter in, and before long, these three things are sucking all of the nourishment, all of the life away from us that's necessary for spiritual growth. I want to challenge you today. Look around at your life. There's a lot of things that can be simplified. We don't need to have so many worries in life. We need to simplify life. You're going to find that when you have a lot less things to think about, you worry a lot less. We need to simplify life. We don't need to keep up with everybody else, riches and pleasures. We don't need all that stuff. Let's learn, yes, we believe in prosperity, but when pleasures and riches replace true prosperity, it's going to interfere with our spiritual development. So I challenge you today, take a good look at your life. Has your spiritual growth stopped? Have you stayed in relative spiritual immaturity? Then maybe you need to look around and look at your environment. Are you surrounded by life's worries, life's riches, and life's pleasures? If so, you are having a problem with spiritual midlife crisis.